And yeah, just want to welcome everybody back to yet another AMA in the Future Lounge. Today we have James and Jayvee, who are team members of the Anito Legends team. Guys, if you'd like to introduce yourselves and tell us a bit about the project.
Hello, everybody. Good day. Thanks for having us along with JV. Yeah, we're from the Anito Legends team. Maybe I should introduce myself first. My name is James. I'm the CEO and co-founder of the project. I do a lot of the back end stuff, admin stuff for the company. The things that my co-founders or partners that don't want to do, I usually do it. So, but that's okay. I also have a good background on game design and development. I've been making games with my partners here in the project for about 7+ years now. We've been doing a lot of games over the years, and our team dynamic is very good when it comes to games. I mean, um, we throw in a lot of good ideas here and there, and I think our experience and the culmination of all of our experiences is boiling down into this project, I must say. So we're very excited to talk more about the project. Yeah, I'll hand it over to JB.
Hello, hi. I'm one of the co-founders of Anito Legends. My name is JV Fernandez. I'm actually the odd man out in the group. We are four in total, but I'm the only one that's not a game developer. So my background this is actually in digital marketing and media. So my role is essentially helping out with partnerships, doing a lot of the mostly forging these new partnerships here, like in Manila and in the region. I'm also in charge of community, making sure like the copy is also really great. Yeah. It's also my job to ensure that I guess like how we are on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I think that's Facebook's actually pretty big here in the Philippines, so that's why we're also focusing on that. But of course, making sure that the community's alive and kicking, and all our partnerships are healthy and in place. So yeah.
Amazing, guys. Well, a wonderful introduction into yourselves, a bit of background about your relevant experiences. I've got to say from the get go, very very excited to have a GameFi project that's been run by developers who actually have a substantial amount of experience. Amazingly, it's a rarity in the space. Usually, we get guys who are more crypto focused, and then they're like, oh yeah, we'll just get a third party to build it. But no, great to see that you guys have that experience. You're going to be at the spearhead of it, deciding how you want the game to look, how you want it to work, and you making sure that the game, I imagine, is going to be enticing and interesting, even if crypto was outside of it, right? You guys are going to be focusing on making a fun and exciting game. So yeah, very very as you can tell, I'm very very excited to talk about those aspects. But before we jump into that, let's do a general introduction of what Anito Legends is and what benefits it will be providing its investors.
Sure. Maybe I can share my screen for a bit. I have some fancy graphics prepared. Yeah.
Oh yeah, fantastic. That's showing
Oh,
up for me.
oh, oh, wait. Sorry, I think I shared the wrong screen. Let me get that out of the way. Okay. So I don't want to show a boring pitch deck to everybody. I'll try to keep it as entertaining as possible. But just a quick brief on what Anito Legends is. Basically, Sam, you took the words out of my mouth. We When we conceptualized the game, we really wanted to create a fun first experience than anything else. I think that it's a little cliche to say now, but we've been developing the game for a year now, and that was our main focus and our ethos and design philosophy when we started this Web3 project. We wanted to get the players back because it's a fun game, it's a fun experience, not just because they're earning, of course, but they genuinely love the game. The game loops are addicting, so that's what we're focusing on mainly. But yeah, as an investor for the token, which is called Laro, Just a quick tidbit, laro in the because we're all Filipinos. The team are from the Philippines. Laro means to play in our language, so we aptly named it that way. So as a holder of or the utilities of laro, let me go over it really quick. Well, as holders or yes, as investors for Laro tokens, you may use it for summoning more Anitos. It's basically breeding. So in the game, we call it summoning. So to summon more Anitos, you'll be needing Laro tokens. Actually, pairing it up with the Ginto token, which is our rewards token. Buying the summoning stones from our marketplace and then having a pair of Anitos, you can summon them in after 5 days. We're also planning a special tower access. So the game is an auto battler. I forgot to talk about the game, but yeah, it's an auto battler, a game where your characters go through different towers amongst other levels, and the further you go in, the better loot you get, better equipment for your NFTs, your Anitos, and you can become more competitive when it comes to PvP or PvE modes. So with these towers, the special tower access, we're looking to partner with a lot of brands here in the Philippines at the first in the beginning. We were planning like a branded content tower. So to enter this tower, you need to pay tokens, and the towers will be branded with whatever the branding of the brand partner will be, and you get special items from those towers. The weapons, the equipment will be, of course, designed to the brand of our partner. And yeah, at the end, you may find like a special reward or an NFT that you could get. So those are the two. And the other one is yeah, I spoke about PvP. Actually, our PvP right now, we have the game out, by the way. We've got a lot of players playing right now in early access. Simply buy the NFTs and you can get to play. And our community is very, very competitive when it comes to PvP. So as holders, in the future, uh, you get a say, or you get some voting rights on whether you want to either ban certain equipment, weapons or armor that's really OP or overpowered. As holders, you get a say to vote and ban this for the next season. We're planning also a battle pass access, which is Lero. Lero will have to be used to buy the battle pass. So if you're familiar with other games, like a battle pass is basically a tiered system where the further you go down, the more rewards you get. So of course, there's a premium track, and that's what Laro will be used to buy, no? And these premium tracks will also give you, of course, very valuable rewards. And lastly, for the marketplace, we're planning to roll out our secondary marketplace soon. Holders can either buy or sell their NFT and ethos in the secondary marketplace with Laro tokens. So yeah, I give a good overview? Maybe JV, did I miss anything?
No, I think I just want to add and maybe preface to what Sam was mentioning about the game. So our approach to this project was that when we first entered the space, we realized that all of these crypto games were all mostly in concept or by concept, or
Hmm.
basically like almost vaporware. So we wanted to really try to find a way to show off the product first before we start selling. I think the best way to make sure that your project is legit and it's actually quite good is to build your project from the ground up using original art, original music, uh, and original assets. And from there, we were able to come up with the MVP after the first 6 months. Since that time, we've been doing our beta testing. So we had about 1,600 testers coming in and playing the web version and the non NFT version of the game. And in that span of time, we had about 40 game updates across PC, Mac, iOS, and Android. So we really wanted to make sure the game was robust first. And then after that, we launched the game on early access just last August. Yeah, just last August. And
Yep.
we have about more than 1,500 minted Anitos, I think. And the community is actually quite healthy. So if you are a potential investor, you're actually investing in a project that's already running. It's been out. The game is out, and we're rolling out seasonal updates. We just launched the Halloween update last week. New gear, new crafting mats, new NPCs, new experiences, and we're also now working on new game modes and the holiday update, which is coming out towards Christmas.
Amazing, guys. Well, I mean, there's a lot to take in there, but I do want to take it bit by bit. First and foremost, again, I'm very, very impressed. I'll put that out there straight away. It's very, very awesome to be able to talk to you guys, and just off of what you've already highlighted, in the introduction, all the gameplay features. Once again, every GameFi project I talk to, some, I even do it, I advise. There's key parts that I always talk about and key parts I always suggest. And you guys have pretty much covered them. Honestly, if I was going to have to try to advise you, I'd have a very difficult job, I'd say, because you're already, checking a lot of those ticks in my boxes when it comes to, what breeds the success of, or how we can take kind of GameFi to the next level. I think you made a great point there, highlighting earlier. In a lot of the GameFi tokens that people can get invested in and get involved with now, it's just very unfortunate that it's always at the conceptual stage, or not even breaking into the ideation stage, where they're still in their works. They don't know how to develop it. They're going to have to try and source a third party, or they've got a team that they think can achieve what they want to lay out, but they have no proof of their concept. They've got no MVP ready. There's no ways for people to kind of get involved and start playing it. They kind of have to invest in the blind belief that this is going to come out and be successful. Where you guys have gone the polar opposite way. You're like, look, we know what can we want to prove to everybody that we can make a game, we can make it exciting and enticing, and we already have a substantial player base. Having 15, you mentioned 1,500 active players already, right? In your early access.
That was during the beta, and then right now we've
During the
minted
beta.
more than 1,500 NFTs and more.
Okay,
So
fantastic.
I think our player base grows at about 10 to 15% per week. Depends on if there's an update or not.
Mhm.
So that's the average.
Amazing. And yeah, and again, you have a lot of these kind of staple, when we look at the popular games both on mobile and PC and console right now, you guys are utilizing a lot of those same systems that gamers are used to. I would say even helping merge that kind of pathway between just crypto investors who are also gamers, but then also a casual gaming audience. You've got that gacha system, with the gacha
Mm.
boxes. You've got the classic battle pass system, getting them accustomed to how they would usually address a game. And then I imagine we can talk about, hopefully getting them then involved in, understanding the crypto side of it as well. Which, yeah, is again fantastic. It's something that I've always strived and highlighted, that we need to be bringing the gamers into the crypto space and not relying on the ones that are already here, in order to grow, in order to have a successful project. So yeah, very, very, very impressed. I'll put it at that. Yeah, before we jump into some other aspects about the project, I want to look at some comparable games and some other aspects about it itself and how people can make full use out of their NFTs. I just want to kind of take it back a bit and really highlight how long you guys have been working on this project. And I know we threw around some dates earlier in the introduction, but how long has the project been in development since ideation, since you guys came up with the idea to create it? And how did the full team that you have working on it now come together?
Right. So we actually started. Well, the formal start of the project was around August of last year. So it has been almost a year and a few months now, from when we first prototype some ideas into finally choosing what game design or game mode that we wanted to really go with. It's been really I would say an eventful year with all what's happening with the game development and with the crypto industry, and as we all know, we're currently experiencing a crypto winter, and all these are fascinating. As a team, as you did mention, Sam, we really wanted to keep the core, as we wanted to like hire in-house game developers, since this is really the core product. I mean, we cannot have this outsourced to a third party, and that just sounds silly to me. Like if you're running a restaurant and you outsource your chef, then there's a problem there. So we really made sure that the core team would be of game developers, artists, and of course, what's something new for us is that we also had to look for blockchain people or smart contract authors, which we were thankfully able to find here in the Philippines. Very talented people. Um, so yeah, we grew the team to about 12 to 13 in over a year, steadily expanding our development team. Especially, we really put a lot of time and effort with the game development side of things and making sure everything is working fine. We're also looking. We also expanded our artist pool, as I hope everybody enjoys our visual design. I think this is one of the standout things from our project. If I would sound a bit biased, but I really do love our visuals of our game.
Yeah, amazing. And yeah, glad to see that you guys have really taken the time and effort once again, to bring this to light, with the whole development at least being over, over 14 months now, essentially, to where you guys are today.
Right.
It's crazy to me. Once again, you'll have projects come in and be like, yeah, we want to make an MMORPG game, and yeah, we're gonna release the first version in 3 months, and it's going to be developed by three people. And
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
you get that face slap on the just the
Right.
slapping my head on the forehead, because I'm just like, okay, these guys have no idea what they're doing. But
Yeah.
yeah, again, you guys have
Yeah.
taken the time. You've built a great team. Like you said, you were even able to find the people who can do the smart contract integration and build help build the game on the blockchain,
Right.
and work with that. And you've taken, I would say, a good amount of time, especially for the product that you're releasing now, or that's available now for people to play. It looks very, very clean. And there's, again, I'm trying to hold myself back, so I'm going to want to jump into the game development. But first and foremost, I always have to ask this question. It's devil's advocate. We
Mm.
know here that everybody here listening are BSC investors or investors in crypto. Not all of them are gamers, so they'll be listening and they'll be thinking, well, is there anything for me getting into this project purely as an investor and not a gamer? Will I get any additional benefits or be able to get involved? What questions? Oh, sorry. How would you, answer that for the investment crowd that aren't interested in playing the game, but they support, they want to support you guys. They can see some potential, with the project itself. What would you say are the benefits to, let's say, sole token holders of Laro?
Right. So as sole investors or sole token holders who don't really are not really gamers, and I don't think, yeah, I don't see fault in that also. But I think the key thing to remember is that we're in this for the long haul. Again, it might be sound cliche. I'm sure other projects say this, but we're really in this for the long haul. We really do believe in what's happening in the industry. I mean, I know there are some bad news recently with what's been happening, but as a core team, we're not really phased about that. I mean, these are growing pains. I think every industry experiences this, most especially if it's new. But yeah, we're really excited to what the blockchain technology can bring, especially with games. When we talk about, I actually we have ideas worth for for 2 years. We want to implement these hopefully in the coming years. All we need is just time and resources. Hopefully, that's why we're doing this fundraising, the pre-sale for tokens. Um, and yeah, we really want to think about sustainability as well of our tokenomics. I know we haven't talked about too much about the tokenomics, but one of the key aspects that we want is that we call ourselves a play and earn game, not really a play to earn game. I think this is another buzzword that's been floating around recently, but basically, play and earn means that the game is a fun first experience, and then you reward your players for playing the game. Basically, it's not a game that you come and play and try to extract as much value as you can. I think that's not a sustainable model anymore, and I'm sure you guys know it. Seeing other games that have gone through the crash recently, so we're learning lessons from the big boys, Axie Infinity, Pegaxi. Those are the big games here that are being played in the Philippines. So we're really taking note on how to mitigate uh, to what they're experiencing right now,
Hmm.
and maybe to go in a little bit more specifics on how to mitigate these things that we're really introducing a lot more content to the game that will add more utility to the token. I've said some things a while ago, but we have some more things that we want to integrate our Laro token into the game, which will cause more demand for the token and hopefully will increase in value in the future.
Okay, amazing. Yeah, well, important aspects covered, and I love that segment you mentioned about the like difference between calling yourselves a play and earn game and calling yourself versus a play to earn. I think again that is a substantial difference in something we mentioned earlier, where even if you guys were to take out all the crypto elements of this in terms of people being able to reward and earn money, this alone standalone would still be a fun and enticing game for people to play. They just have the added benefits of owning their own assets in game when it comes to the NFTs themselves, which I think again is such a cool part of GameFi and why I'm excited for the potential of it, and also the ability to earn some of those secondary tokens that you have. So yeah, fantastic. And just to cover it while we're here as well, in terms of the earliest possible time for our investors who are listening now to get involved with your token and to possibly invest, what stage are you guys at? Just for anybody who's unfamiliar, when's the kind of earliest time that people would be able to start getting invested with you guys?
Right. So we're in the pre-stage, pre-sale selling stage now for tokens. We're actually doing our IDOs well next week, starting with Gempad on October 24. We're doing it a whitelist style, so I think your community is also giving away whitelist spots. So yeah, from October 24 and then 26 will be on BSC launch. October 29 will be on Pink Sale. Pink Sale will be a public style sale, so no need
Mhm.
for whitelisting. So if you missed the Gempad or BSC launch, you can hop on to Pink Sale. And then lastly, we're doing it with DAO Starter on November 2.
Okay, fantastic. So yeah, and just to highlight to the people here, if you are looking to get one of the whitelist spots, we will be giving away. Again, I decide it based on the best questions that are asked in the question portion. So when that happens in about in about 10 minutes, I'll say, guys, make sure you've done some wonderful research. Base your questions off of what James and Jayvee have told us, or based on your research on their white paper. Ask a unique question, and you might have a good chance of winning one of those whitelist spots. So great incentive for everyone to ask some awesome questions. All right.
I
But
think.
now that I've done, oh yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I think I just wanted to say, Sam, that it's a. We really wanted the dates to look this way because
Mhm.
we're aware that there are many projects also before where you do your token sale, you do your IDO, and then the MVP comes out maybe 10 months later, 6 months later.
Mhm.
We really wanted to keep the scheduling tight meaning to say the game is out. You can already play the game if you buy the NFTs. We have a community, and then just 2 weeks later we have the token launch. So I think keeping that very tight schedule and then launching new updates on that week also, it really helps also with us show we really want to show the community that we're very serious about this. So
Yeah,
what you're investing in is not really just another crypto project. What you're
yeah,
investing in is a game dev studio, and
yeah,
with more than
precisely.
20 years experience.
Yeah, precisely. And I think that's especially a very enticing goal because, looking at bear market and the situation we're in, if, people want to be serious investors, and again, this is my own opinion, so please take it with a pinch of salt. I always look for projects, I think are going to have long-term sustainability and are also going to be very outward facing. In terms of bringing people into the crypto space and not just capitalizing on the people that are already here. And ways and means that we do that is by creating viable products that are accessible in the real world and investing in projects that we can treat like a real world business as the same akin as if I was buying shares into a company and getting dividends from. I want to be able to treat my projects I invest in, especially in this sort of market conditions, like that, which again I would put you definitely guys under about being outward facing, having the game already developed and ready. It's not off promises, it's off of a product that we can already see the you're already there. So yeah, again, very very exciting to see. Amazing. Well, just to make sure I've got enough time selfishly for my own questions regarding the game itself, I want to jump into a few aspects of it. Firstly, I want to cover the comparative games that you guys would, compare this game to. Maybe not even just GameFi games, but outside of the games industry. Because I think my first impression when I watched the video of a bit about the gameplay, Slay the Spire came to my head.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
which I've poured way too many hours into. Again, I know, in terms of auto battlers, you've got popular mobile games like Raid Shadow Legends. It even brought me back to like the days where, when it was fighting the slimes, obviously I was thinking of Dragon Quest as well a bit. So maybe you want to touch on maybe some comparative games that you guys would compare yourselves to when it comes to similar, game mechanics or anything like that. And who you guys believe is really going to be your competition when it comes to bringing an audience into your project.
Yes, we speak the same language. Slay the Spire actually was one of the main inspirations of our game design. We when we were prototype, when we were in the prototyping stages, we played a lot of Slay the Spire. Thus, it shows with our game. But as being casual game developers, also we had to tone it back a bit to make it a bit more accessible to other players who are not really hardcore. So that's why we looked also into to other of these South Korean gacha games, the auto battlers. You also mentioned Raid Battle Legends. Um, we looked into a lot of these kinds of games because we noticed that they're very easy to play but highly addicting. So it's one of the qualities that we also wanted to have in our game. Um, and yeah, we tried to put all these ideas together, and I think this is the result of all of our brainstorming and ideas, JV. Yeah.
Yeah, I think one during the pandemic, the four of us would play a lot of games together, mobile and PC games. I think for mobile, as James said, the inspiration was really a lot of the Korean and Japanese gacha games like Lost Claudia, Counterside, what are the other, the Fate, all of these other games that would utilize you have your premium currency and your regular currency. So we decided, what if we just treat the governance token as like the premium currency, for example, or right, or the rewards token as the premium currency. And it actually makes sense when you look at it that way, because as gacha gamers, we've spent a lot of money, pulling for your pity, for your SSRs. Then after a while, you realize, wait, I've spent $200, $300 on this game, and I just quit, and nothing happens. So what if I could flip that, right? So that was actually one of the mindset we had. Like, if this game can appeal to, if we design it in such a way that it can be appealing to gacha gamers, which of course there's a lot of, then maybe and there's so many people who are like-minded like us, and maybe this can be something that they might be interested in, because they can always sell their NFTs after if they decide to quit, or they can pay for their phone bill, or just at least make up for what they spent for with their game.
Mhm.
So that was like the way we were looking at it at the start. It wasn't really about earning a lot of money. It was really about having fun, and at least being able to recuperate whatever you spent on gacha.
Yeah, which for a lot of gamers could be a whole lot of money.
So it's like,
I
yeah,
know.
dolphins and whales.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't. I don't need to talk about the shared sorrow that me and my friends had when we realized how much money we spent on Genshin
Oh
Impact. So
my.
Ah.
things are.
Oh
I like.
boy, that
Yeah,
that yeah.
we could have a whole
as long
separate
as
discussion about that.
as long as you're having fun, no time or money is wasted.
Yeah, yeah. Don't worry, having to pay bills. Just enjoy. Um, No, honestly, guys, yeah, I can happily say here I'm a gamer and game designer first, and then crypto investor second. That's probably coming out a little bit, but no, great to hear. I'm glad to see, again, I got to hit the nail on the head with comparative games and what you guys are really targeting, and I think it's a very perfect kind of combination of the two systems that you're really focusing on. Again, Slay the Spire, quite a complex game when it comes to the mechanics and going through later, primarily played on PC. So it's like, okay, how can we integrate some of those key mechanics and bring that to a more mobile friendly audience? And then you guys obviously looked at some of the most popular mobile games, the ones with the most prominent gacha mechanics, and took inspiration from them as well, which again, perfect, I think has made a beautiful combination. Now, before we jump into community questions, because I'm very conscious of time, I want to talk a bit about the Ginto or Jinto token. You could probably correct my pronunciation. You guys have gone for that two token system, having Ginto as the reward token, and you even have the pearls or pearls as the in-game currency. Can you talk a bit about why you wanted that two token system, and how people can take their rewards out and possibly like you said, get some money back from the game, from the time that they dedicate into it, in order to see kind of a return of investment?
Yeah, sure. Well, as you mentioned, yeah, Ginto is actually the pronunciation. It in our language it means gold. So again, a play of words here. But yeah, in order for you to earn the Ginto, you must convert your perlas, which is actually the in-game currency in the game that you earn from playing PvP, PvE. Players earn amounts of perlas, and then in the future when we roll out the perlas to Ginto exchange, players can do an exchange from perlas to Ginto. Obviously, this will be a dynamic conversion. It will depend on some things like how many players active, the price of Ginto currently, basically like an oracle that we're trying to develop also. And then for players, well, for players who want to cash out the Ginto to your wallet, you must also buy a cash out ticket or a cash out token. We call it an anting that players have to buy with stablecoin BUSD, as we want to impose like a small tax, and we want to get this as revenue to keep the, of course, game afloat. We try to, as much as possible, not to dip into the tokens to as for revenue. We're looking into other alternative ways of earning revenue via stablecoin, and this cash out token is one of them. So yeah, I
Okay,
hope the
fantastic.
explanation was clear.
Nah, fantastic, and yeah, I can definitely see the benefits of having a system like this. I think two token can work very very well if done correctly. And a great point to highlight there is, excuse me, a great point to highlight there is obviously, you've you've touched on a bit about how you guys are looking to generate revenue and the revenue model you're bringing in, and the fact that you're very wary of taking anything out of the governance token, and having an impact on the chart and the value of it, based on you guys trying to keep the game afloat. It can be counterintuitive, right? So you guys are mainly focusing on other means and methods to generate revenue, either through, I imagine, the gacha system when it comes to creating the NFTs, also, and people being able to convert, like you mentioned, the stable coins into that token as well, in order to utilize it within the game. It mentions you can use it for crafting and powering up, and being able to kind of upgrade your characters. So glad to see there's lots of mechanics there to keep people's the currency invested within the game, keep people being able to spend to improve their experience when playing through. Amazing. And just quickly before we do jump into community questions, again, this will be my last bit of selfishness. Then I promise, guys, community questions. It's just a bit about the competitive aspect of the game, because we know that in order to get more engaged players, gamers who want to spend a lot of time, they want proof that they can be better than other people, and then they can highlight and showcase their skills. You guys are offering both a PvP system and offering tournaments as well. Do you want to go into a bit of detail about that? Why you guys decided to bring on these features, and how you're going to create a truly competitive space for people to showcase that they're better than their friends?
Yeah, sure. So right now we have a PvP system up, complete with leaderboards. Every day the leaderboards has been changing. I think Jayvee was one of the more competitive players, but now he's overthrown down to the wherever. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
it,
not in
it
the boards anymore, which is
uh,
great because at least the meta is not quite, it keeps changing, which is great.
Mhm.
yeah,
That's something we really wanted to make sure.
yeah. And in the future, we plan to host tournaments as well. Again, this will be for players who want to participate in the tournaments. Laro will be used as a way to enter the tournament and as part of the pool, as we want to reward players, of course, with Laro tokens. And then in on the side also, if you are not a player or an active player, you could also do side bets. Again, Laro will be used for these side bets, generating more utility for the token. And yeah, this is what we plan to do. And actually, our PvP being an auto battler sounds like it's a I mean basically you watch the game unfold, but the depth of the game really comes into the positioning of the Anitos and everything. And it's really a really entertaining thing for me to watch also, when I see other people doing PvP. So we're really looking forward to the tournaments and the betting system in the future.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, great amount of concept there, and like I want to highlight. I think when it comes to engaging players and letting them showcase, the characters they've been able to build up and upgrade, and create, like you said, a good meta team that
Yeah.
is ever evolving, ever changing. Which again, very important for player interaction to constantly be coming back and customizing and changing up, the certain builds they have. Yeah, it creates a very engaging system, and like you said, there's always those people that want to have their name showcased at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah.
Bittersweet for you, JV, coming being dethroned, but it's also great to see that you've got players as passionate, if not more passionate, when it comes to playing your game, and trying to climb those ranks. Fantastic. Again, guys, I honestly could happily talk to you about the game and other aspects of it for the next 2 hours. Unfortunately, we don't have that luxury of time, and it wouldn't be an AMA if we didn't get community questions in. So a bunch of them have already piled up, but guys, if you haven't already seen in chat, if you do have any questions for the Anito Legends team, please go ahead, type it in chat. Make sure to tag myself at All for the Ice, and I'll go ahead and get some of the good ones read out. Just a few rules to follow. Firstly, please keep your questions short and concise. I don't want to have to read a paragraph when I'm trying to get to your question. Secondly, make sure you limit yourself to one question per person, so we get through as many people as possible. Again, if I see you've asked multiple questions, I'll just go ahead and skip you. So pick out your favorite one, just leave that one. And finally, make sure it's a great targeted question. based on the information James and JV have given us today, or based on your own research when looking at their website and white paper. Formulate a good question. Again, if I see a generic question that I get from all the hundreds of AMAs I've done, I'm just going to go ahead and skip over you as well. So keep that all in mind, guys. And without further ado, let's jump into the amazing questions from the community. I think the first question I want to take is from Cryptic. He's noticed while researching through your white paper, you guys don't mention any sort of staking or farming. He wants to know if that means that there won't be any of those features implemented in the future, or if you guys have a unique means and methods for people to kind of passively earn income, let's say, or earn tokens that wouldn't involve these.
Right. So the staking question, actually, we here in the Philippines, if you're not aware, crypto has been gaining popularity, and the government has been noticing. And apparently, when we consulted our legal advisors on this, staking is actually not kosher. Meaning, if you provide a staking pool, your tokens will be considered as securities, and this opens up another kind of worms, which we don't want. But all I can say is for staking, we plan to do it via third-party partners. Well, a little leak, but we're organizing a staking pool with one of our central exchange partners. So we'll be hearing that about on that soon when we get some details out. Just follow our social medias, and you'll find out on when the staking pools will be open.
Okay, awesome. Well, I love that question from Cryptech then, because I always love questions that get some juicy alpha information. But appreciate that,
Yeah, you made
and
us
I've
leak.
Yeah,
That
yes,
was a
perfect.
leak.
Yes,
yeah, it
that's
was
what we
forced
like in
to
the
be.
future, Lodge. We like the
That
exclusives
was
here, so it's great. But
very
no, also great.
juicy.
Yeah, juicy, juicy. But no, honestly, great to again for you guys to highlight the fact that you guys are taking this very seriously. You're treating it like a real world business. You're making sure it's going to be sustainable long term. You have those legal advisors you guys are consulting, making sure everything is above board when it comes to any future legislation or regulations that are imposed by your government. Again, we're very wary of what's going to be happening here in the UK when it comes to that as well. So
Mm.
any project that's looking long term needs to make sure they're doing everything above board, wants to be treated like serious business. And I can tell that's the means and methods you guys are doing it, like you highlighted earlier. You're the investment is investing into a game studio, not maybe not specifically into a token, right? So I'm glad you guys are taking it by that dynamic and keeping that very uh you know again, taking it very seriously when it comes to those aspects. Okay, so yeah, more questions coming in. So I'll try and be a bit quicker. But next question I want to take is from Bumpface. He's noticed that you have special NFTs that are only available through certain gacha boxes. I think he highlighted the legendary gacha boxes. He wants to know if the certain NFTs that you'll be acquiring will be limited to certain gear types. So would I only be able to attach like legendary gear to my legendary NFTs, or will all the gear be accessible to every variant of NFT that is available throughout the game?
Yeah.
Oh, that's,
Yeah, maybe JV, you could take this.
oh, it's actually a really good question. What we wanted to do is really provide the most value to the player, which means that when you buy an NFT, although it's a gacha box, the gacha box is, of course, it's random, right? So the main difference between the common, the epic, and the legendary, aside from cosmetics, is the rate of unlock of your charm slots. Your charm slots are basically um, your charm slots are, sorry, I had to cough. The charm slots are basically additional slots where you can attach certain traits for your character. For example, it's what give if you played games like Baldur's Gate or Mass Effect, it's what gives your class more beef. So for example, it gives +10 to attack, or for example, if a comrade dies in battle, your ultimate attack activates automatically. It's stuff like that. So at the end of about maybe 2 months, all of these Anitos will be at the same rate of unlock. But at the start, the legendary Anitos have that slight advantage. We did it this way because we didn't want to make it pay to win. we really wanted to make the experience more of pay for convenience, that sort of thing. So at the end of the day, everyone gets the same experience. Now, I think so. You mentioned about the equipment, right? So the way this game works is the meta is all about gear, and if I guess if you play Final Fantasy, it's similar to the job system
Mhm.
where you can have you can turn your for example your tikbalang, which is the horseman, you can turn him into a healer or a magic user or a tank or a dodge tank. It's really up to you based on the base stats that you get, and there really is no limitation on equipment. So you can really customize your character based on the drops that you farm. Oh,
Okay,
and one
amazing.
more thing.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, go ahead.
you mentioned the legendary gear. Sorry, the legendary NFTs. So there are four one of ones, and these are the leaders of each tribe. Um, as of today, I think three have been unveiled. So there's only one more that's left. So these are actually your one of ones that are part of the lore, and we'll be unveiling the lore in a codex system similar to, well, again, Mass Effect, Baldur's Gate, that sort of thing. We have about 70 pages of lore written by a famous horror writer here in Manila. She's got a lot of novelettes and short stories on Philippine fiction and horror, all in English. So we have that out, and it's a very rich story that you can discover as you play the game. So yeah, we really think
Amazing.
this a lot of soul has been put into this game.
Yeah, it shows and highlights the fact that you started name dropping other games that again I can see, especially when gear system comes into effect and how that can really change the dynamics. Again, the amount of hours I've poured into Lost Ark and Final Fantasy 14.
Right.
Again, I'm gonna have to pester you guys after the AMA just to talk about games and, and everything that you guys are doing. 100% because I could tell I'd have a fun conversation with you guys. But no, great points to highlight there, and a great question there from Bumpface. So thank you again for giving us some more juicy details in regards to how the gear system works, how the traits work, and a bit more about the legendary NFTs available. Okay, let's jump into another question we've got here from Molly Groves. They've asked if the Anito Legends will be affordable and accessible to the general public. Essentially, and would there be a free-to-play model that essentially, without committing any money or purchasing the NFTs, people be able to kind of try out the game, see if they like it, see if they enjoy the concept, and get to play, and then choose to invest at a later stage. Essentially, what's the barrier to entry for gamers to play?
You're making us leak again, Sam.
Oh wow, these are
Free.
good questions.
We actually thought about this recently, especially with how the global economy is. I mean, everybody's suffering through whatever the dollar US dollar is putting us through. So we recognize that the barrier to entry for playing our game is a bit high. To be fair to us, we priced our NFTs last year when nothing of not when the dollar was still okay. So actually, just for context, the cheapest tier of our NFTs are $40 for 40 BUSD, and you need a team of three, so that's 120 BUSD. Again, we recognize that this might be a big barrier for others, especially for those gamers out there who want to try it risk free. Um, and to answer the free to play model, yes, definitely we're looking into having like a free to play game mode in the future where eventually you could start with Anitos that are not NFTs, of course. Get to play, experience the game, and if you understand how the game works, you can freely upgrade yourself into an NFT and start playing and earning the rewards, earning the NFTs. um, and yeah, And yeah, also actually we're also introducing uh, another class that would be a little bit cheaper than the others, and more affordable. We're calling it the Duende class. Again, another leak.
Wow, you.
Uh,
Oh
And all the
boy.
Another
exclusives
leak.
today. This
Yeah.
is what I love
So
my community. They pressure all the good exclusives out of out of the devs.
so we conceptualize this new class a little bit cheaper. I won't leak the price, but definitely cheaper than what we have right now. But of course, it's a little bit more limited in features. You can't do breeding or anything of that, and the stats are a bit uh, a little bit
It's too much. You're saying
more.
too much. No, just kidding. Just
Okay,
kidding.
okay, never mind. Yeah. But yes, to address this problem, we are looking into these things. And actually, when we're talking about price, maybe it's a good time to also give the surprise to your community, Sam. We want to offer a discount code for you guys in our marketplace. If you go to marketplace.anitolegends.com and you enter the coupon code FL50, that's the letter F and letter L, all caps, you'll get a 50% off on any of the NFTs, limited to 24 hours from today. So if you guys want to try the game and you find it a little bit expensive, just use the coupon code and yeah, and start playing.
Amazing. Well, guys, I mean, you're spoiling us today. I mean, yeah, I'm sure my investors are going to be very, very happy with that. We'll make sure at the end of the AMA to post that in chat as well, so people can check that out. And yeah, yeah, honestly, that's amazing. Really appreciate it. And again, great question there, Molly. It's Molly or Molly. I'm gonna have to figure out. I ask you directly, but no, great question there. And yeah, a great answer, guys. I'm glad that you guys are looking very seriously into it, how to really limit the barriers to entry. And yeah, we got some more juicy alpha from that. So we always love my community pressuring the best questions and getting as much exclusives as we can. Fantastic. Well, guys, I have highlighted. I can see quite a few people asking questions, but asking multiple questions. Again, I'm just skipping over you guys. So if you do want a chance to get your question answered, please limit yourself to one question, so we can get through as many people as possible. And also make sure it's stuff we haven't already covered, because some of you asking questions we might have already highlighted earlier in the AMA. So next question I do want to take is from Paramore, and I think this is more focusing on the care and charm system. They just want to highlight how long in kind of real world time does it take for people to improve their Anito's fighting ability. I know you guys have that kind of charm meter and care system, but can you maybe highlight if that will also improve their fighting ability or their performance?
Yeah, GV, maybe you could take
Yeah.
this one.
So a while ago, I was talking about the differences between the common, the epic, the legendary, and the rate of unlock. So actually, Anito Care is sort of tied to that. So it takes 10 days to unlock a charm slot. There are three charm slots per Anito. So it would take 10 days to unlock a single charm slot for the legendary, 15 for is it 15 or 20 for the epic, and then 30 days for the commons. So that's part of the Anito care system, basically sending them out to quests. So quests are sort of like an in-game stake where they bring back in-game items for you to use. So it could be healing potions, equipment, resurrect potions, that sort of thing. Um, or you can actually feed them their favorite food, and they get a boost in their Anito care meter. We're still also trying to implement ways for them to get buffs stats when they eat their favorite food. So that's coming. So we're thinking about that. These actually came from the community, their suggestions. So we actually appreciate that we have that dialogue with them. So that's part of Anito Care. We have more things lined up in the future. So yeah, we have to just stay tuned for more updates.
Awesome, amazing. Well, yeah, great question there. I'm gonna have to backtrack and find who asked it. I've already forgot the name. I do apologize, but
Yeah.
no, great question in regard to the care system. I think it
If
was
if
from
if you
Kai
remember this
Paramore.
this old if you remember the old this thing called Tamagotchi, the virtual pet, these
Yes,
virtual
sir.
pets
Of
that we used
course I
to
do. I'm
have.
showing my age, but
Yeah, I'm guessing your age now. Like, so it's similar to, we wanted to do something like that where we can take care of the pet, feed it, you know, play with it. Uh, but right now, when you play the game, it's really just so far these two features, the sending him out to quests and feeding. But we
Mhm.
have more things lined up for this in the future.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, amazing guys. We'll try and limit them as less alpha. You've already given us too much. Let's say we can't get it all at once. We need the community heading over to you guys to make sure that they can get some more juicy information in the near future as well. All right, let me take one more question from the community since we are very, very short on time here. I know you guys are probably incredibly busy and have a lot of sleepless nights ahead of you. So, one final question from the community is going to be from Avi, and I think this is a very prevalent question. She's highlighted that a lot of bad things, unfortunately, can happen happen in the space to projects through no fault of their own. Highlighted as obviously from third-party malicious attacks. You guys will know from Axie, there's been quite a number of different ways that hackers have been able to get in and exploit not only the reward pool but even players' own holdings. Unfortunately, so Avi wants to know what measures are you guys putting in place, or do you have sufficient measures in order to prevent those third-party malicious attacks?
Right. So that's a really good question. So if you could look at our website, one of our team members, we have a full-time cybersecurity expert. He was been on board with the project since day one. So we actually put through all our like whenever we do updates and everything, we ask him to basically hack the game and see if there are any vulnerabilities. Same goes with the D app. He makes sure that everything is up to snuff. There are no holes, no security vulnerabilities. He's the one who also personally set up our servers and everything. So it's been really secured since day one. Well, just a little tidbit on him. He actually is a white hat hacker for uh, for our NBI, which is basically like the CIA of the Philippines. So he really knows his stuff. And we also had our smart contract audited by HashX recently, and they didn't find any holes. So I hope that also keeps a peace of mind of everybody.
Amazing. Well, no, great to see you've got somebody specialized on board that can really help out and ensure the security of the project. I think very, very crucial and important, especially as you guys will start gaining more attention, more popularity. Unfortunately, sometimes it brings the wrong eyes to the project, let's say, as
Mm.
well. They come with it with every moment of success. So to be prepared, be kind of get ahead of that rather than, dealing with the aftermath, effectively preventing that kind of chaos happening initially is definitely the way to go. So yeah, great to see that you've got somebody like that dedicated on board, and obviously to highlight the audit as well you've done there. Well, guys, amazing. Time has flown by. Again, I could sit here actively chat to you guys for the next 2 hours to explore
Mhm.
every nuance of the game, every nuance of the project, and I'm sure my community could as well. There was a lot of questions, unfortunately, we didn't get round to. So to those guys, I do really apologize. But if you do have any more questions for James, Jayvee, and the Anito Legends team, please do not hesitate to join their Telegram channel. We've got both the Anito Legends game, which is their kind of chat channel, and then the Anito Legends NFT, their announcement channel. Recommend that you guys check both of those out. That's in our pin messages. I'm sure my mods and admins will happily post the links directly in chat in a bit as well. So head over there. If you have any more questions or concerns, I'm sure their team, moderators, community will be more than happy to help you out, as well as being able to stay updated for any future AMAs they have and for all the wonderful announcements they've got coming out in the future. But in the final moments of the AMA, I just want to hand the microphone back to you, James, and to you, Jayvee. Please let us know any crucial information you think we've missed, and to highlight again if people are interested in investing, where they should navigate to.
Yeah. Again, thank you, Sam, for this wonderful AMA. So yeah, if you guys are interested in the project, feel free to jump over at our website. It's at anitolegends.com. All the links and information are there. Links to our white paper, to the marketplace, to our team, You can fully dox us, the founders. We have linked our LinkedIn, Twitter accounts there, so we're not afraid to show our faces and put our reputation on the line. And yeah, watch out for IDOs starting with Gempad on October 24. Again, this is a whitelist IDO, so make sure to get on that whitelist if you're really interested. If you don't get into the whitelist contest with your community here in the Future Lounge, feel free to jump in our Telegram, and we'll be giving away more slots then. And yeah, and if you missed that, make sure to look out for BSC launch on October 26th, then Pink Sale on October 29th, and then DAO Starter on November 2.
Amazing. Well, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure having you guys here in the Future Lounge. Thank you for obviously choosing us for one of your AMAs, letting us talk to you guys directly to find out more about the project and learn all that juicy alpha. If you guys missed some of the exclusive information, you're going to have to go back, listen to the recording to get all those details out nice and early. And I want to highlight again, you mentioned when it comes to purchasing NFTs, if anybody is interested, as always, there is that discount code that will be available for Future Lounge members for the next 24 hours. We'll get that posted in chat, but it will be that FL50 as the discount code. And that will be usable for the next 24 hours as well. So guys, once again, thank you so much for coming in today. I'll go ahead and stop the recording here. I'll get both